On August 9th, 2020, at the height of the pandemic, Du Bois Place, 34th Street Southeast, was the epicenter of DC's most recent mass shooting since the Naval Yard. There was an unauthorized gathering of pedestrians that ended tragic. The Greenway community in Southeast DC is much like communities of color across the globe. Beautiful, bustling, close-knit, generational, and historically underserved. 20 people were shot. A 17-year-old lost his life, and one law enforcement officer sustained life-threatening injuries. You see, a scuffle broke out amongst feuding partygoers and shots rang out. I remember sitting on the front porch of my office not too far from the shooting with my coworkers amidst the blood, the dunnage, the shattered glass. Family members, friends, and residential community members in a state of awe that this happened so close to home. Our thoughts were, how do we heal from this? What does healing look like? And what tools do we have at our disposal to even begin the healing process? Tragedies like the massacre in Du Bois Place is becoming more commonplace across the globe, leaving behind emotional and mental casualties of war. And if left unaddressed, the effects of hurt, pain, and suffering can lead to even more horrific events. Hence the term hurt people sometimes hurt people. So what can we do to help victims from such a horrific event? And even more so, can men and women who are returning citizens act as change agents and provide a contribution to their communities and to themselves? Today, I will speak a little bit about the Alliance to Concerned Men, an organization who facilitates healing in communities, whose staff consist of returning citizens, also known as prior incarcerated men and women. Next, we will talk about steps to healing and what healing looked like amidst the tragedy in the Greenway community, and how the Alliance to Concerned Men serves as a torchbearer for change and healing the emotional and mental health of our most underserved. What is the Alliance to Concerned Men? And who are the walking wise men? In 1991, the District of Columbia was considered the murder capital of the United States of America. There were 509 murders in 1 year. That's 80.6 homicides per 100,000 residents in a population of only 603,814. Devastating. The Alliance to Concerned Men is a community-based organization that was created in response to this high violent crime and the untimely death of rapping Rodney, Mr. Tyrone C. Parker's son, who was murdered at Crystal Skating Ring. So Mr. Parker and his 5 closest friends decided to come together to go into the district's most dangerous communities at the time, Benning Terrace in Southeast and 7th and O in Northwest Washington, D.C. And while engaging, they were coined the walking wise men. According to the district's 20-year homicide trend on DC crime data at a glance, the decline in violent crime from 509 in 1991 to 88 in 2012 was the most significant since 1963. It is safe to say that this is in part due to the efforts of Mr. Tyrone C. Parker and the Walking Wise Men, formerly known as the Alliance of Concerned Men. The American Institute for Research, they conducted a study in partnership with the Office of Juvenile Prevention they found that in 10 high violent crime per capita cities, that there was a 2.8% decline in violence per month per 100,000 residents in 10 out of the 11 cities that utilize community-based strategies and approach. There are solutions out there. And like my mentor, Keela Sherrill, states plainly, you cannot have public safety without the public. These solutions include utilizing returning citizens to act as change agents in some of the same communities that they were once perpetrators. Now, I know that this is a fairly new concept, right? And some might say that hiring returning citizens to be change agents is rewarding bad behavior, or they might abuse their positions in some of the same ways former opportunist law enforcement terrorize communities of color. Yes, there are bad apples out there. And some apples do fall far from the tree. But all are individuals. And we must allow the heart of the individual to make the right decision when the time comes. Consider this. It takes someone with lived experience to have true impact. Even the apples that fall far from the tree to the ground have the ability to bear fruit. Let's revisit the murder rate down from 509 in 1991 to 88 in 2012. This supports the utilization of returning citizens to act as change agents in their respective communities. The utilization of returning citizens provides a five-fold approach to public safety. The community-based public safety collective, three-prong approach to rapidly build the strategies needed to scale community-based public safety and develop national best practices supports this premise. By training community practitioners, also returning citizens, to be public safety professionals and enhance the methodologies and the capabilities in the field of public safety. Utilizing returning citizens, it gives you best behavior. It reduces actions that cause incarceration. It reduces violent crimes in their communities. And it puts a stop to inappropriate modeled behavior. What does healing look like? The South Asian Institute for Peace Builders suggests the merger between conflict resolution and restorative justice and where they might intersect. At times, restoration supersedes resolution. Other times, resolution supersedes restitution. The Alliance Concerned Men did whatever it took. They created an organic approach to public safety, one that is specific to the Greenway community. They used the natural resources in the community by way of returning citizens to act as change agents. What tools did they have at their disposal to begin the healing process? The Alliance of Concerned Men's Conflict Resolution Manual, Train the Trainer, copywritten in partnership with American University's Department of International Conflict Resolution Peace, is culturally specific and study-based. They took crew members up to American University, conducted a study, and manifested the curriculum that is utilized for restorative workshops. Through community engagement, inquisition, they were able to gather participants, 40 of them, partygoers, that the community deemed as high intensity, also known as shooters. Many of which knew each other, but ski mask hid identities. The first workshop was held at their headquarters in Greenway. And before the first session, a young man walks in the office. He lifts up his shirt. He had been shot 15 times. He had staples from his gut to his chest. He had just been shot 72 hours ago. And he stated, "I just got shot 72 hours ago. I promise I'll never miss a session." And you see, this kind of caught us off guard. It was the height of the pandemic, and close proximity engagement was something foreign to us at the time, but we were able to gather ourselves so that we could make him feel uncomfortable. We said, don't worry about it, little bro. Go ahead in the conference room. Grab you some pizza. We'll be in there in a moment. And at that moment, we knew that we were onto something groundbreaking. You see, the young man had staples from his gut to his chest. He had just been shot, which means he left the hospital before he could get stitches. Staples are a prequel to stitches. Something in that hospital made him leave abruptly. But most importantly, he was inside the Alliance of Concerned Men's office for conflict resolution instead of retaliating. When the session came, we go into the conference room. The young man jumps up, lifts off his mask, lifts up his shirt, shows his 15 staples. He says, I just got shot 72 hours ago, but I'm here in the Alliance of Concerned Men office for conflict resolution. Sequentially, another young man jumps up, takes off his mask, shows his scars, and said, I too was shot 72 hours ago, but I'm inside the Alliance of Concerned Men office for conflict resolution. Who is to say that these two young men didn't inadvertently shoot at or shoot each other due to ski masks hiding identities? And at that time, in a spirit of solidarity and against COVID best practices, we all took off our mask and committed to peace. This was not a safe space in any sense of the word, but we created a safe space for healing and reconciliation. And I get it. You're probably thinking, did anybody catch COVID? Fortunately not. And for the next 100 days, there was peace in the Alliance of Concerned Men coverage area inside the Greenway community. Why utilize an organic approach to public safety? Community-based organizations and the resources therefore don't often intersect. More specifically, when community-based organizations have the resources to create an organic approach to public safety specific to their needs, the byproduct is a better quality of life. I encourage every single one of you to be the change that you want to see. And if you feel so inclined, start a 501c3 yourself and be that guiding light. Just remember these few things. Use ingenuity in your approach. Create an organic approach to public safety specific to the jurisdiction in which you serve. And utilize the natural resources in the community for sustainability. The Alliance of Concerned Men is just one of many organizations doing amazing work across the globe. You have the Community-Based Public Safety Collective in Los Angeles and New Jersey. You have the Exodus Transitional Community in Harlem. You have Clint Lacey and the Credible Messenger 3, the Osborne Association in Bronx, New York, all community-based, all doing amazing work in their communities. And like my mentor, Akila Sherrill, states plainly, you cannot have public safety without the public. Thank you.